There are 24 finalists competing for the 2013 EY Entrepreneur of the Year.
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it.
Over the next 3 weeks, I will be meeting with all of them.
So Jane, what is Sucru?
Starting this week with the shortlist in the emerging category.
You seem to do everything together. But this wasn't done together.
We in EY have been promoting entrepreneurship for the last 16 years. And the reason that we get involved in entrepreneurship is to really acclaim those best entrepreneurs on our island who are building businesses, growing jobs, building new products, selling them not just here on our island, but globally. Entrepreneur of the Year is held in 54 countries. And one thing about our Irish Entrepreneur of the Year programme which makes us very unique is that per capita we have one of the strongest levels of entrepreneurship from around the world.
In the run-up to this year's awards on October 24th, a panel of judges have tough decisions to make. They have to pick a winner from 3 separate categories: emerging, industry and international. And from those 3 winners, they must choose who will be named the 2013 Entrepreneur of the Year.
These entrepreneurs come from all parts of the country, from many, many different backgrounds. They're real people, just like the rest of us, who've got an idea that can change the world, made them into businesses and sought to make a real difference.
I'm absolutely blown away by them. Their stories are incredible. The kind of teams they've put together around them. They're a phenomenal group of people.
I am Pádraig Ó Céide. I'm a former winner of this competition, and now, as chairman of the judging panel, I intend to get to the coalface of the 8 businesses in the emerging category. But I also want to get a feel for the personalities behind those companies. My journey starts in Dublin, where I meet 2 entrepreneurs who in their spare time coach juvenile football teams. Maurice CURRAN and KIERAN FITZPATRICK became friends while working together for an IT company in the financial sector. In 2010, they decided to combine their skills and set up their own software company, Barracuda FX. They now provide foreign exchange trading software to some of the world's leading banks. While they both work well as a team in business, there is intense rivalry on the football pitch, as KIERAN brings his under-12s down from Cavan to play Maurice's youngsters from Raheny.
The guy who manages this team, right, is my business partner. No mercy, put them out of their misery, right? We're not here to be pushed around by these. We're here to beat Maurice, we're here to beat Raheny.
This is meant to be under 12, and I think they have 17-year-olds out there.
I thought he was a fair guy, you know. I come down here, I bring, you know, a team of kids up to Dublin, and their little hearts are broken. There's like 2 guys out there with full beards.
Tell me exactly what you do.
So we provide foreign exchange trading software to some of the world's largest global banks. An average trade that would come into our system would be between $3 and $5 million, you know, up to maybe 100, 200, 250 million. That's a single trade. We'll be watching, say, euro dollar, and it'll be trading 300 times in a second. We'll be taking every one of those price updates, and if the price moves by that much, he's got a massive loss. So we've got to watch that, make sure that he knows when the market moves, and we'll be telling them when they should buy. Banks believed in what we're doing, and we were able to build that initial product with the first bank, and then we've been adding banks since.
What's it like working in a partnership and creating a business together?
We've known each other for a long time before we started this. You know, we have a lot in common and we complement each other.
Kieran would be very much a product expert now, and you know, he is the FX guru, and I probably, you know, do most of the where are we today, why haven't we got it done, try and turn it into something that works and happens, and a very complementary skill basis.
You started this in 2010, and already you're in 45 countries throughout the world.
We saw the niche and we knew it wasn't well served, and we went after it. And it shows, you know, from Ireland or from Cavan or from Raheny, you know, you can tackle global markets. When you have a great product, people will buy it. And we just have a really special product, and we have a great team.
Now look outside you. Good score.
Is Barracuda the release you have from the stress of managing football teams?
Stress for me, obviously.
Yeah. Time to leave Dublin now, and I head north to Belfast to meet an entrepreneur who has certainly been pulling on the strings of success. Having previously worked in advertising, Colin Williams decided he wanted to make children's television programmes after spending many hours watching kids' TV with his young daughter. Despite having no previous experience in the area, his company, 16th South, has now produced puppet shows which have been broadcast in over 100 countries.
Colin, tell me about the characters here.
These are some of the puppet characters from some of the shows that we've produced. This is Billy and Dara from Big City Park. Big and Small from Big and Small. The guy who built these characters was the chief of the Jim Henson Creature Workshop. He would have built all of the characters for Sesame Street. I figured out that I really wanted to work in kids' TV. I had some people giving me advice saying, oh, don't go into this industry, Colin, you can't do it. You know, after being told that I couldn't do it, I still wanted to do it.
Colin's determination to do it drove the production of 4 very successful puppet shows, and now 16 South are producing their first animated programme for children.
Hi, my name's Lily. I live here on Arnish Island.
So Driftwood Bay is all about this little girl called Lily who lives on an island with her dad and her best friend called Gull. So the characters, the backgrounds, the lands, the props, everything has been made from beach salvage, so things that have been found washed up on a beach. So the jetty is made from driftwood, the boat's made from a piece of old fiberglass. We have a room here in our studios which is full of beach salvage.
Every day, something new washes up on the beach.
Every day, something new washes up on the beach.
A lot of people I know who are really highly creative have a big challenge in actually creating a business model or a financial successful model out of that. How do you deal with that?
You want to, above everything, protect the integrity of the idea, of the creative of your show, because that's ultimately what's important. But it has to be financeable, it has to be investable. The days have gone that the BBC or RTE can fund a show, because they can't, they haven't got the money. You've got to sell that to 10, 20, 30 broadcasters in order to actually raise the money to make the show.
We can go on any adventure with our friends on Driftwood Bay.
To meet the next entrepreneur, I'm staying in Ulster and heading to the northwest. Well, I'm here in Derry, City of Culture 2013, to meet an entrepreneur that's full of energy. ELEANOR MCEVOY is a serial entrepreneur from Limerick. Having previously set up and sold a phone card business, ELEANOR has embarked on a new startup, Budget Energy. The company purchases electricity from the Northern Ireland grid and sells it on to consumers. She has set up headquarters in Derry, a city which this year has an electric atmosphere.
There's a great buzz around the city.
Oh, the city culture is marvellous. There's events every single weekend. There's street entertainers, there's an awful lot of stuff for kids, so yeah, it's really good.
And ELEANOR, why did you choose the city of Derry to set up your business in?
Well, Derry is a lovely city, and I like the nature of the people here. They tell you exactly what they think. Things are done with a sense of humour, which I'm a big believer in.
What does Budget Energy do?
Budget Energy is an electricity retailer to the consumer. So in other words, we sell to the domestic market and we also sell to the business market.
There is one grid, there is one infrastructure, and nobody who sells electricity has anything to do with infrastructure. We just buy and resell.
We don't charge for anything other than the electricity. In other words, if you want to phone Budget Energy, it's a free phone number. If you're a prepaid customer, we don't charge you for the use of a credit card or a debit card. You just pay for the energy you use. Consumers like the simplicity of what we're offering and that we are different from the bigger, long-established companies that are here. I love new starts and new beginnings, and I love the hope that it brings with it and all the fears. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. I was told by numerous people that as an individual that I wouldn't be awarded a licence to sell electricity. That guaranteed that I got my licence. Being a bit stubborn is very, very useful.
From the maiden city, I head back to Dublin City. I'm off to meet 2 friends who started up a business and created great success. And now they have their hands full with a very different type of startup. In 2010, Conor Murphy and Ray Smith founded software company Datahug. They create software that extracts information from all the communications data within a business, including emails and phone calls, in order to help that business get to the market faster. Datahug is now an international enterprise with offices in New York, San Francisco, London and Dublin. With so much travel involved for Conor and Ray, their other startups need plenty of attention when they're at home.
Ah, look at Ray, look at it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you've done it before.
Soother.
Dipped in the whiskey.
You seem to do everything together, like.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, this wasn't done together.
Was it not?
No.
So what are your individual roles in the company?
I'd very much focus on the operations and engineering side, and Conor would be focusing on the marketing and evangelising what we do.
Very simply, Datahug helps understand who knows who. So in your company, all your colleagues have all these connections, but it's very hard to understand who's connected to who. Datahug automatically figures that out for you. So for example, if I want to sell to Enterprise Ireland, I can quickly type in the name of the company or the person and find out that we know 330 people at Enterprise Ireland via 38 of my colleagues. And now I have all these routes into the organisation. I'm not ringing them cold or trying to guess how to get in there. If I want to meet Martin, I can just click on Martin and find out that Conor and Ray know him well, spoke to him 62 days ago, and get an introduction. So very, very simply, companies that have Datahug get to market faster, sell more.
The information was available, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was going to waste. Yeah.
It was going to waste.
All this information is sitting in the businesses. So what Datahug does is recycle that information and extract value from that communication data.
We almost joke you don't need Datahug in Ireland because everybody knows everyone in Ireland. But you land in New York with 300 million people in the whole country, you know, relationships are a lot more harder to work than they are in Ireland. We take it for granted here. So that's our market over there. It'd be a lot easier if we'd moved to Silicon Valley a year ago. And we should have probably, but there's kids and there's family. And thanks to the web, the industry we're in, we can compete against anyone in Silicon Valley. We can do it here from Dublin, eventually be able to do it from Kerry and retire back down to Fenit or Dingle or somewhere like that. So Pádraig, thanks so much for coming up to see us. Myself and Ray, actually we have to pop off. We have a meeting around the corner, so...
Yeah, you're busy men.
I'll leave this with you. It's a bit of high technology that we've been working with recently.
What do you want me to do with it?
There's a diagram inside, I think.
No, hold on lads, hold on a minute. It's a long time since I've done this.
When we look at the emerging entrepreneurial category, they've started just with an idea. They've decided that they were going to follow that idea through to the market and build a really phenomenal business. And we'll hope that for many, many, many years to come, that they will be the generators of significant employment here on our island.
In part 2, I will continue my journey around the country to meet the other 4 finalists in the emerging category.